guys, welcome to my Wednesday post where I've been doing just kind of random lists of things, like books I'm looking forward to reading to or authors I'm looking forward to reading to. And this is going to be something similar. I'm going to go through the top 20 books that I'm looking forward to reading in 2021. And I know this is happening into January, but there's still a lot of books that I haven't read yet that I'm looking forward to reading in 2021. And I wanted to go ahead and go through them. And I did try to make this a top 10 list, but I read between like 250 and 300 books a year, and I could not get it down to just 10 books that I wanted to read in 2021. So we have a top 20 list, it's more books to go through, so more excitement. All right, so the first one that I'm looking forward to reading in 2021, and I should be reading within the next week or so, is Ready Player 2 by Ernest Clines. My family and I got this on audiobook. We have not really gone anywhere where we would have a chance to read this yet, but we are hoping to start listening to it when we go on our trip up north. And I'm excited about this, but also a little worried because I loved Ready Player 1 so much, and I'm worried that continuing the series is just gonna ruin it for me. I don't know. I've heard really mixed things about Ready Player 2 so far, but we will definitely still listen to it. My husband and I are all very excited about it. All right, the next one, and I forgot to mention, I'm going through these in order of release. So the ones that I start out with are ones that are already released, and then I kind of go into ones that release later in the year. All right, second book is A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the Ash and Blood series, I think is all it's called. It's just called the name of the first book. And I'm really excited to read this, and I meant to read it in December, but never got around to it. So it should be a really fun read, and I do plan on starting this later in the week. So I'll be reading that pretty soon. All right, the third book on my list is another one that came out later last year, I believe, and I just never got a chance to read it. I did get an I'll Create alternate version of this, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. I've heard really good things about this book. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I just did not get to it by the end of last year. So I got a little diverted at the end of December, or kind of all of December, trying to get my graphic novel reading challenge finished. So a lot of the more full-length novels just didn't get read. So really looking forward to reading that. This is a young adult fantasy. All right. The fourth one I'm looking forward to reading is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Again, this is another one I've heard really good things about. This is assigned I'll Create alternate version of it, and super excited to get this. I think it just released. I'm actually not super sure, but I thought it was early January, maybe late December. So really excited to read this. It's one I'm just very excited to read. All right, the next one on my list I got as an ebook, and it's an older book, but it's one by an author that I've really been loving, and that is A Skin Full of Shadows by Frances Hardinge. I've read a couple of her books, and I'm trying to get through like all the rest of them. I have a couple on my list, The Lie Tree, Cuckoo Song, and Skin Full of Shadows. This is the one I'm most excited to read, and hopefully we'll be reading within the next week or two. So very excited about that. All right, the next one is one that I have on hold at the library, but have not yet got a copy of it. And that is When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain. This is by Ningbo, and it's the second book in the Singing Hills cycle. I'm like completely blanking on the first book. Anyways, it was really good. It's more novella length, very wonderful fantasy type of historical mythology kind of telling thing. So very excited to read that because I really, really like the first book, which I am completely blanking on. But When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain is the sixth book on that. All right, the next book on my list is another one. I actually just got it for review, so I'm super excited. This does not come out until February 2nd, and that is A Stranger in Town by Kelly Armstrong, which is the sixth book in the Rockton series. I've really, really been loving this series. It's about a woman police officer who goes out into the middle of the Yukon Territory to help manage and police this small town that has been put out in the middle of nowhere for basically witness protection and or criminals who pay for protection in there. There's a lot of really interesting dynamics in here, a lot of mystery, a lot of like a thriller aspect, and then there's like locals that live in the area who are the whole thing's very rustic, so there's a lot of survival elements. Really been loving this series and really looking forward to reading the 6th book in it. So that's that one. All right, the 8th book on my list that I'm really looking forward to reading to is Witch Hat 8-Layer Volume 7. This comes out February 4th, and this has just been a consistently really well done manga series. It's got a good story. The illustration is beautiful. I enjoy the characters. The world's really neat. And I'm just really, really loving it a lot and super excited to see where it goes. All right. Book 9, I'm trying to go through these as fast as I can, is another series book. And this is book 10 in the Encrypted series, Calculated Risks by Sean McGuire. I also just got this for review. This comes out February 23rd. I really have been loving the Encrypted series even more than the October Day series now. It's just a little bit more lighthearted and fun, and I really like cryptozoology. So if you're looking for a good kind of fun urban fantasy series to read, the Encrypted series has been really, really good. This series has been broken down, and it follows different characters for a certain number of books, and I believe, well, this one follows Sarah Zellaby, who is a cuckoo, and I can't remember if it's the 2nd or 3rd book featuring her, but I'm just super excited about it. There aren't a ton of urban fantasy series I'm still reading, and I used to just like read everything in that genre, but that is one that I really love. All right, for book 10, I've been waiting for this book for what feels like forever, and that is book 3 in the Cassidy Blake series by Victoria Schwab, Bridge of Souls. So Bridge of Souls is supposed to come out March 2nd. It's been delayed a number of times, and this is a middle grade kind of supernatural series about a young girl, Cassidy, who travels with her archaeologist parents, and they do a lot of work in like crypts and tunnels and like creepy old sites under cities. And Cassidy always ends up running to a ghost that needs help and ends up in this big mystery. And I just love how neat cities are featured in. I mean, I think they were Paris in one and then Prague in one. And you just get to go explore these really unique areas of these cities underground and stuff. And it's just kind of fun. I like the travel. I like the supernatural aspects. So really looking forward to reading that. And I'm hoping it doesn't get delayed again, because it's been delayed quite a few times and it's been a long wait for that book. All right, book 11 is the 2nd book in the Scavenge the Stars series by Tara Sim, and that is Ravage the Dark. This one's supposed to come out March 9th, and I just really like Scavenge the Stars. It was a really nice fantasy novel, and it's one that I'm really looking forward to reading. So I'm hoping I love it, and I hope it comes out on time. I feel like because of the whole COVID thing, or maybe other surrounding circumstances, a lot of these books have been pushed back. But anyways, hopefully they'll all be released on time. All right, the 12th book on my list is The Bone Maker by Sarah Beth Durst. That comes out March 9th as well. Durst has become an author that's kind of a go-to author for me. She writes really good standalone novels. I enjoy her middle grade books, and I talk to her about her in like my top favorite authors just overall. So I'm really excited to read The Bone Maker and see what that is about, because she's been just such a solid author lately, or forever. I don't know. All right, book 13 on the list, ironically, is Vinland Saga Volume 12. I should have made it book 12. Anyways, this Vinland Saga, they normally come out like October, November timeframe, but this has been pushed back a few times. And this is by Makoto Yogamura, and Vinland Saga is my favorite manga series, like ever, of all time. It's just so well done. It's beautifully illustrated. The story's very intricate. It has a lot of little inserts about history and all that. So really, really excited about that. All right, book 14 on my list is another series book, and that is book 6 of the Murderbot series, Fugitive Telemetry. And this comes out April 27th, so a bit of a wait for this one still, but I have really been loving the Murderbot series from the beginning, and I thought book 5, the first full-length novel in it, was just absolutely amazing. I think book 6 is supposed to be more of a novella length, but I'm just as excited. And that's by Martha Wells, so very excited to get that one. All right, book 15 is one you guys have probably heard me talk about way too much because I've been super excited to read it. And I did just get a review copy of it, which made me just over the moon. And that is A Master of Jin. Oh, I should have been showing, sorry, like going back. This is Picture the Bowmaker. And that is A Master of Jin by P. Jelly Clark. And this is the third book in the Fatma al-Sha'arawi series. Hopefully I said that right. It's going to be out May 11th. As I said, I'm super excited. I got a review copy of this from Tor.com and really looking forward to reading this. Yeah, this is a steampunk novel set in historical Cairo where Jinn have crossed the gate over to the world, and because of their presence, they have made Cairo like super advanced compared to other cities of the time. The characters that are just fantastic. The world building's fantastic, and I am super excited to read it. All right, enough of all that because I've talked about it a million times. All right, book 15 on the list, or sorry, that was book 15. Book 16 on the list is the second book in the Dreamer trilogy by Maggie Stiefvater, and that is Mr. Impossible. That is scheduled to come out May 18th. I really loved Call Down the Hawk. I thought it was just beautifully written. Stiefvater has such a cool, unique writing style, and I'm probably saying her last name wrong again, even though I always look it up and I'm like, okay, that's how you say it, and then I say it wrong again anyways. But really excited to see what goes on with the Dreamer trilogy. I just love her writing style and how unique it is and how imaginative she is. All right, book 17 is the third book in the Harbinger series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and that is Grace and Glory. And that one comes out June 1st, so quite a wait still for that one. But I have been loving the Harbinger series. Again, I think I have mentioned like Armentrout's books can be a little repetitive if you read like a whole bunch in a row. But there's just something about them that's so readable and makes it so hard to put the book down. And I am so dying to see how Harbinger ends up because that's the final book in the series. So very excited for that. All right, the 18th book in the series is the second book in the Midnight Lies series called The Hollow Heart. And I am blanking on the author's name for some reason. I will insert it. I'll insert a picture of the book over here so you can see it. And I probably should be like moved over a little bit so I can do that. Anyways, I really, really liked Marie Rutowski. I think that might be the author. Anyways, I really, really liked Midnight Lie. The Hollow Heart, which is the second book, comes out September 14th. And I'm super excited to see how that goes. It was such a surprise for me how much I liked the Midnight Lie. And I'm just very eager to read The Hollow Heart and just see how it all ends up. All right, number 19 on the list probably won't surprise anybody. This is the first book in Annette Marie's new series featuring our favorite Druid, Zach, and that is the one and only Crystal Druid. That is now going to come out September 24th. It was supposed to come out quite a bit earlier, but it got pushed back. A lot of her books kind of got pushed back. And to be fair, she's been doing a ton of writing in the last couple of years, and she's just said she needed to slow down a little bit. So the one and only Crystal Druid comes out September 24th, and I'm so excited to read that. Zach is one of my favorite characters in the Guild Codex worlds, and I'm looking forward to reading that one even more than the next book in the Guild Codex Warped series, although I will be reading that one as well. I'm just super excited about the one and only Crystal Druid. All right, and then the last book on my list, because it comes out last, not because I am least excited to read about it, is the 15th volume of the October Day series, and that is When Sorrows Come by Shannon McGuire. This comes out, I don't think it actually has a release date. I just put it after everything because most of her October Day books come out like September, October. So I'm assuming it'll come out like late September, early October, but I don't know for sure because I couldn't find a publication date on it. But again, very, very excited to see this. I believe there are 17 books on contract for the October Day series, so we're getting very close to the end of the series. And there were a couple books in there that felt a little bit tired, but then the series started picking up again, and I really liked the last one. So I'm very excited to read When Sorrows Come. So I hope you guys enjoyed that rundown of the 20 books I am most excited to read in 2021. And I would love it if you listed some of the books you're excited to read below. It would just be great to get some more suggestions of some really exciting books that are coming out in 2021. That being said, I am guessing I will find a lot of books in 2021 I get really excited about, because I get excited about books a lot. And so while these are the ones I am most excited to read now, I'm sure there will be a lot more of them that I'm both excited to read and both happy I read by the end of 2021. All right, so that's it for this post. I hope that you got a lot of great books this week and are having a great week of reading. And I will talk to you on Saturday for stacking the shelves. Have a great week. Bye.